call the meeting to order. And the first guest here was Andy Pond, so we're going to hear you first.
Okay, our department's looking to replace a vehicle or two. We're thinking about the rescue at this time. The thing is, we don't know the proper procedures on how to do this, and we want to get things straight so we can present to the town what we would like. I'm getting a lot of pictures of trucks that people would like within our department, and they're secondhand trucks.
Are we still talking rescue, or are we talking fire truck?
Well, I'm just generally fire trucks right now.
Okay.
The focus right now is a rescue truck. But with that in mind, I want to also make the board aware. We have two trucks. We've got E1, which is the original the new fire truck that we bought in the late 80s. That thing's pushing 30 years old now.
And what does that truck do?
That's our main engine.
Main engine, okay.
Main pumper. So things are starting to get old. They're old on it. We've done some work and try to keep it up to par. The rescue is basically a truck, a command center. It houses the equipment of the firefighters. It's an older ambulance that we had taken on from the ambulance station.
So it's not really a truck, it's an ambulance?
It's an old ambulance.
Old ambulance,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. So we've made do with that.
Okay.
Problem is, my point of view, is both vehicles are getting old.
Come on in,
And at some point, we're gonna have to do something.
sit here.
My thought is if something was to happen to our first pumper, we have a second pumper that's fairly new that I would just make that the first response engine and have E2 as a backup. So right now, we need to discuss what we need to do at our department, how we feel we should go about it. What I'm looking at, what are the procedures, what do you want from the fire department if we were to propose a new truck?
So are you going to propose a new truck, or what are you going to do first? Do you want
I think general consensus right now is a rescue.
rescue? And what, are you looking at secondhand or
Well,
firsthand?
we've been looking at secondhand, just thinking that,
You should look at both.
yeah.
Have you found anything fit to buy?
The stuff that we're finding is, you're talking probably 20 years old. Little mileage on it because it's a fire truck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I've seen cost up to $70,000
For
on
a
these rigs.
20-year-old
Oh,
rig.
yeah.
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 They're over 350,000 new.
I know.
What's a new one on?
You just said
350,000.
Depends on what you're,
Depends what you're
350.
going
I mean, it's all what you buy, bells and whistles. I mean, we got a lot of stuff that we can equip ourselves. So if you're looking something that was stripped down, I'm sure you're talking 100, 120,000, just estimating.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Are there any grants out there?
The only grant that I've seen come around right now, I need to talk to you at some point, is dry hydrant, but that's the only grant that I'm aware of.
Is that a big grant?
That's 5,000. It's nothing.
What'd you get? Didn't you have a grant for your last fire truck?
I believe so. I have
Let's find out where it came from.
Yeah, I have to investigate that.
I would say, go ahead, but I would say check out if there's grants, find out some prices.
Okay.
We'd have to put this on next year's budget
Oh, yeah.
unless we had
Sure.
some way of,
Jeremy, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I had two things.
Okay.
Engine one, the oldest engine we bought 27 years ago, I think it is.
yeah,
Actually, now there's an issue with the body mounts for the tank.
Yeah, and that's
like rusty or,
They're bad.
they're cracked.
They're cracked.
that's not good.
No,
No.
and
No.
it's gonna have to be a total disassemble. Take.
Well, we haven't approached that yet. Can it be welded? Yes, probably can be welded. It's aluminum. It's just cracked aluminum.
That's the actual fire truck.
That's the whole.
That's our first response.
Yeah.
That goes on all the calls.
So, yeah,
A new one is $350.
That's the
With the
rescue.
bells and whistles.
you're talking probably 350 to 400. I'm estimating for a pumper.
So how,
Isn't that about what Richmond just spent down there?
I don't know what Richmond
I
spent.
think so. They had to replace one
Yeah.
and I think they were budgeting somewhere between 350 and 400.
Now, those don't come on,
Yeah.
those don't come on leases like our town trucks, do they? Fire trucks don't do that.
They what?
You know how we do the town trucks, we lease to
We
buy?
can lease.
Can we do that with fire trucks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then let's look
There you
into
go.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you ought to look into grants, because I think engine
Oh, I will.
one was, majority of that was paid by a grant.
I believe it
And you
was.
can't tell
Money
me
for that.
that there has to be grants for towns like this.
We'll look into that, Sherry.
There has to
We'll look
be.
into it. I'll start looking.
Andy,
Because-
what's the age range that you're comfortable with? I mean, if it gets too, you can probably get one at a good price that's
You need to-
25
I
years
would
old,
think
but
within the last 10 years it'd be reasonable for a truck. And-
Yep.
10 years old?
Yeah, I think that'd be reasonable. 20, you start going out any farther than that, you're talking, we're using that equipment now, so.
But most people don't turn them in at 10 years old though.
No, they still got them.
Yeah, they keep them.
Well, some of the city fire departments have to change them every so often.
Yeah, but not 10 years.
Well, I don't know, but I
Not
mean,
20.
I think our ladder truck came from us,
Yeah.
because they had to upgrade for,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
and we bought it pretty cheap.
Yeah. And
We also know on used rescues, they also let a lot of the equipment stay on, like your
Right.
winches.
Right, right.
And it comes with a lot of extras. They don't break it all down, so you actually can find them out there that are, have equipment that we know we could use.
Well, I say start
You know what I'm
looking.
saying? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of avenues.
Yeah.
Our game plan was just where
The
would you
thing-
guys like us to start?
My concerns with the used equipment, it's in the paper right now, then, a month from now, it could be gone, so.
Oh, yeah, because we don't have the money right now.
Right.
But the hang of it is, we got a small headache
Yeah,
We don't want
right now.
right,
Yeah,
We don't want to trade it for a bigger one.
right, I agree.
Right,
I
so
agree.
going used, maybe.
And that
getting
happens
raised.
sometimes, secondhand
I
stuff.
don't want you going to a fire and then not making
breaking
it.
down.
Right.
I had,
Engine one, I think, I would like to see someone that does welding and see if they can actually
take a look at
fix.
it.
They've been cracked for a while. 'cause-
Why don't you talk to Larry Patterson?
Patterson.
Let him look at it.
Okay.
That boy is good with the welding
He's a
torch.
good man. Yeah.
Just to get you by. I had talked to Alan before. You know how we do the ambulance, if we have money left over at the end of the year, we put it in ambulance fund, so they always have an ambulance equipment fund, and I said, why can't we do that with a fireman? But he said you can't because the ambulance brings in their own money
Yeah,
for that, and they already have this as a
Oh,
town
yeah.
funded, so we
Okay.
can't fund it twice. So if anybody was thinking, why don't we do that?
Is lease to own an option with,
I don't,
Well, that's what we're gonna look into.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
don't
get to
think we
that.
have a problem with that whatsoever.
But if they, what I think we could do, if they were frugal and whatever money they had at the end of the year, like we do, we could designate it toward the truck for the next year,
Yep.
yeah.
you know? So if you didn't spend all your money this year, I mean, I know you don't have that much money, but, and then if we can find a grant or something and,
Okay.
but if you do that, we do this, we'll see what we can come up with. I mean, we'll try.
Okay. So we're gonna look for grants.
Yep.
Yep.
Call
I'll
Larry
start this week too.
and
And
I'll check into the lease.
check with Larry.
you're checking the lease?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see, because Alan will know about, well, Johnny would know too. I can ask who he deals with and see
So
if he can
new
better
versus
this.
old,
Yeah,
and Larry Patterson for welding.
Yeah.
One.
I think if you talk with him, he'll look at it,
Mhm.
he'll tell you whether he feels comfortable in doing it or not.
Okay.
You know, he won't blow any smoke.
Yeah.
He's street boy.
Yeah, that's
And,
fine.
and he does
Good job.
do some
He does a lot.
really good work.
He's done a lot for us, don't he?
Okay.
Yeah.
but he does aluminum, he said. Did you hear that?
He'll do
Anything?
aluminum.
He'll do anything.
He can do anything.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
And I've had him do stuff for me that was real touchy.
Okay.
And, but I've also seen bigger stuff that he's worked on, you know.
Yeah.
that once he gets done, if you find the wells, you're lucky.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
So it's a start, we can get started on it.
Yes.
All right, anything else?
That's all I have. Anything, Jeremy?
Okay.
Good. Good.
Malik, how do you
Yeah,
spell your
thank you.
name? M-A-L?
M-A-H-L-I-K.
M-A-H-L-I-K. Jacobs.
Franklin.
Franklin. No, I read it in paper enough, huh? Okay, in a good way. You know that I meant in a good way. Okay, the next one here.
Just a second, is that your husband's radio?
Yeah, probably,
Should I give it to him?
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
You can start.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys can come up, yeah, why don't you come up so we can see you here?
There she goes.
You want to get started? I was just waiting for her, but you can get started.
Yeah, the reason we're here is the trash bill, we want to get it current.
Oh, okay.
And I came last Monday to settle the debt, but the debt is just like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Just a minute, I got it here.
Oh,
I do. Okay, it is 2,000, drum roll, $2,213.01. We'll let you off on
where's
the
this
penny.
at?
Where is the location?
18 Harlem.
18 Harlem, and why?
So I started out when I had the restaurant, I was just using the dumpster service,
Right,
and I just never came to grievance using that and not paying this. And then I just started,
did you ask us if you could have a dumpster?
I was at the restaurant. It was.
Oh, you were bringing your garbage from
I was
here to
bringing
the
my-
restaurant, I
yes.
see, I got you.
Oh,
Okay. So
Yeah.
you never came and said, I'm gonna take my
No.
garbage to the dumpster?
No.
Why didn't you do that?
You know, working a lot and the kids and the hours didn't coincide.
I know.
holy moly.
Yeah,
So this is from
been since 2012 or 13.
2000, last payment, 2017. Did you come in and,
No,
oh, that was taxes.
I say I just paid.
Yeah, that was taxes. It's all on the same bill, yeah.
Taxes.
Trash, past due, current due. Currently, only $79 is due. It's up to you guys. If you have questions, you wanna, are you making us an offer, or?
Well, that's
Wait.
where we're at.
How long have you been there?
I've been there since 2011,
Oh, you have?
so 7 years.
And you've never used the trash here?
I only used it for the first year.
And so
And-
they haven't had any stickers since then?
Well, how did this happen?
Because I just didn't use it, so I didn't pay it.
She,
I don't pay town trash, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
okay, so she used the dumpster at the restaurant.
Yeah,
So she never needed stickers. So she never paid. So after the first billing, she didn't get any more stickers. But as we
But we
know,
keep billing.
the bill keeps going even though you're not getting the service.
you're not using the
Because we have to
service.
pay.
And she
Did you
has
know
used the
that?
service.
did you know, you knew, I mean, the bill kept coming,
Yeah, the
right?
bill kept coming.
And the bill kept getting bigger?
And now we've decided that we don't want to keep doing the other runs, so I'm like, we'll get this paid up and start using this service.
But they'd like a deal. Our problem
Well-
is that we have to pay anyway.
We need an offer.
Huh?
We need an offer.
We need an offer, yes. We do need an offer, but you need to understand that we keep paying the bill even though you don't get the stickers because we have a contract.
We have to pay
So
it.
the stickers may be sitting there in the vault, but we still have to pay for them.
We have to pay the contractor, yeah.
Yeah, and so you got a deal for us that we can discuss later?
I don't even know, whatever.
I don't know,
I like
like
that.
25%? I mean, you're
That's
talking,
500.
like, the service has never been used, but it's just, the bill is snowballed, this, before I even met her.
Yeah, let's,
Oh, yeah.
we'll talk.
You know,
It's her fault, we know.
We know.
I-
But you're prepared to use the trash system from now on.
Yes.
right, we want to be current, we want
The current
it to be picked
stickers,
up.
And you're not gonna get $500 worth of stickers,
I don't
or $1,000, it would,
No,
okay,
no,
we're
we
not
don't
gonna
want
do
the
that.
stickers, we just want
Yeah.
whatever the current
Well, yeah.
order is for the
Yeah,
stickers.
yeah. It's gonna be up to the board. Do you wanna discuss it later? We got their story, they offered us 25%, they probably ought to go for a little bit more than
I don't
that.
think 25% is gonna cut it,
Okay, but we can do it,
but we can
Ken.
discuss it
Yeah,
and get back, and like tomorrow.
because this can, I guess, be a lien on your property, can it? Or
Yeah.
can it? It's a
From what
bill.
I've
Yeah,
read
it will
and
be.
been told, the trash cannot, which is the sewer, because the trash is not a mandated.
It could go up for tax sale.
That's
Not
with
for,
water
not for
and sewer.
trash, not for trash. just
Not
water.
for trash, not for trash.
Now, are you
No,
current
no,
on your
no,
water and
no,
sewer
that's
and
right.
taxes? Everything else is
Yeah.
current.
Everything else is okay?
Yeah, they
Yes.
paid everything
Taxes,
else.
water, sewer, all
Yeah,
that.
that's all okay.
Yep.
You're all caught
Yeah,
up on
it
that.
says it here.
Okay.
The only thing they owe is trash. The water and sewer, zero.
Oh, okay.
Taxes, zero. I got them all on the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything's zero.
So
And the
it
current
comes
due
up
on
to-
the trash would be $79. Plus whatever deal, if we're gonna make a deal, and I'm not promising, but it's gonna be up to these guys.
The trouble is, we got that contract,
Yeah.
and everybody else is gonna be paying your trash bill.
Well, no, we have been paying
You
it.
know,
So,
That's the only,
And I would have actually
You
come
know,
in a long
the
time
iffy
ago,
part.
but when I called way back when I had the restaurant, they said I was gonna have to come, well, actually, I had to come to one of these meetings.
yeah.
Because they, and I didn't realize until he just called the other day that it's not a necessity to actually have this service.
It's not what?
We don't have to have this service.
Yes, you do. Because it
They
was
told him
voted
that we
in.
could cancel
Who's
it.
they?
They could, when he talked
The
to.
clerk at the window,
Alan?
No. We,
he said, "Do you want me to take you off the service?" I said, "Well, we're under the impression that you can't get off the
you
service."
can't.
and
The only time
that's what I
we,
thought.
the only thing we do occasionally, and we have to decide, is if somebody says, I've got 10 apartments, can we get a dumpster instead of stickers for every apartment? And that still is our decision, and we
Yeah.
usually say yes. But, no, yeah, he either misunderstood or he did, because it was voted in a long time ago that we have this. It would have to be voted out if we, and so what we'll do, we'll discuss it later in the meeting after everybody's gone or taken care of or whatever, and then we'll, give me your phone number,
370-2104.
2104. And I'll call you tomorrow with whatever they decide.
Actually, you can call me during the day.
I will. Is that when you want me to call you?
And it doesn't matter. That one I won't be there. That won't have service till after 5 o'clock.
I'm not gonna stay here that long. You got another number?
827-6533.
Okay. All right, so we will discuss it, and I'll get back to you tomorrow with whatever, either an offer or whatever, or give you our final, and it may be $2,000.01 for all I know, I don't know, but we will
Okay.
definitely discuss it,
Okay.
okay? And you got rid of the dumpster, then it's gone?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I seem to remember we had a little issue with the dumpster back. Is that the one, do you live in Salawaz house? The one on the very
Yeah.
first one going up the hill? Maybe it was your previous.
Yeah, I was here previously. I haven't had.
It was always overflowing.
No, that
But
wasn't
that's
me.
not you, okay.
No.
We do appreciate you coming in.
Yes, we do, and we'll do what we can.
Nice of you to come in
We'll do what we can.
and want
We
to
want to
straighten
keep
it out.
young people here and living here and doing, you know, it's nice for the town, so we will discuss it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, I never wrote any of that down. I'll remember it.
Yeah.
Trash bill. Well, we haven't finished talking about it either.
Right.
Who was here? You were here next. Come on up.
I think we're all here for the same reason.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's gonna go first?
Doesn't
Do you
matter.
want to go since you're the latest?
The latest.
Last Friday morning, I was out with my dogs. I have a black lab and a Pomeranian, and they never go out unattended. One is always cabled, the little one, and the other one, my chocolate lab, he has the buzz collar, and I have a handheld to train him to keep him with me. We were in our yard. I live at 542 Province Street. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 houses down from Adrian Whitfield. Well, my chocolate lab went around the corner of the house, so I followed him because usually he likes to chase the squirrels. And Adrian 2 of Adrian Whitfield's dogs were in my backyard. The black and white one that attacked the
Just
Jacobs
don't,
dog.
yeah, don't go backward in time, just tell us what happened that day.
Okay.
Because this isn't a hearing, we're just trying to listen to what you're gonna say.
Okay.
And then we'll decide what to do.
So I grabbed my palm and put him in the garage because he's a little 20-pound dog. I knew he wouldn't survive. And I keep an axe handle by the door of the garage and pepper spray in my coat pocket for that reason. And I put my palm in the garage, I grabbed the axe handle, and I started walking toward the Newfie. He was standing over the top of my chocolate lab. My chocolate lab was submissive at this point, had his head down, his ears down, and just looking at me like,
Help me.
help me.
Sorry.
He must have had a sense what was coming. And I kept buzzing his collar. I held the buzzer down and I kept buzzing him, not shocking him, but beeping him. And I kept saying,
And what does that do to him?
he knows to come to
Come
me.
to you.
Well, he didn't do it. I beeped him 3 or 4 times. Usually he comes right off. He was scared. And I started swinging the axe handle, and I was still buzzing Ruger. Ruger come. Bit by bit, really slowly, Ruger started walking away from him. Now, I genuinely feel in my heart that this Newfoundland, because I stopped the attack last time, he remembered me and he knew I meant business.
Mm-hmm.
He did not hurt my dog this time. But I have this beautiful little baby that comes to my house. It's my grandchild. And
Beautiful.
maybe Ava, she'll be 2 in June. Now, maybe if worse came to worst and I had to replace the pet, I wouldn't like to do it, but I could. But I cannot replace. And I don't want to be put in a position to tell her mother that her daughter was attacked and hurt or killed on my watch because Adrian can't keep her dogs at home.
Well, she's compelled to keep her dogs at home per court order. So we'll get to that later and maybe at another time. This was all in your yard.
All in my yard.
So you felt threatened, you weren't attacked.
I was not attacked, and I was not.
How did you get rid of the dog?
I just continued after I got my chocolate lab away. I put my chocolate lab in the garage, and I continued back after the Newfoundland. I did not hit him, but I was swinging the
And
stick.
they left.
And the little black one that was with the Newfoundland took off right off. Knew.
Are they aggressive to you when
No.
have they been down other times? Is this the only time lately?
This is the only time lately.
Okay, at your house.
This has been going on for, what, 3 years?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're not at a hearing right now. We're just gonna listen to what you have to say.
Say it afterwards when we go on.
Yeah. Okay, so is that all you're gonna tell us right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
You want us to do something about keeping the dogs in, basically?
Yeah, because if something on my property bleeds, something on hers is gonna bleed too. I'm not gonna. It's terrifying. I go out at 11 o'clock at night with my dogs the last time of the night, and you can hear her dogs just bellowing. It's
Does she still have the fence
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
yes,
But they were outside the fence?
they were.
Yeah, okay. And this was what time?
About 9:45 Friday morning.
Okay.
So then I called Jean Jacobs to let her know not to let her grandchildren or her pets out.
Yeah.
I called and talked to Mr. Martell, told him what was going on.
Yep.
I brought him a written statement. I called Linda LaFountain to let her know not to let her grandchildren or her pets out because she has 3 small chihuahuas
Mhm.
and 2 3-year-olds that are there at her house every day that she takes care of. And Jean Jacobs has her young grandchildren there, and I really didn't want anyone hurt.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well,
Oh, if you have a question? Okay, all right.
Tina, was the chocolate lab on a leash?
My chocolate lab? No, he has the buzz collar
Buzz.
on and the.
But he would,
He has a
Okay.
cable, but he will not go to the bathroom on the cable. So in
Oh,
order
so
for
you
him
let
to
him
go
off.
to the bathroom,
Okay.
I have to let him off the cable. But I'm
Okay.
out.
And he was in her yard.
yeah,
Yeah.
so then you know.
I walk right with him.
And you have an axe handle by the door and pepper spray in your pocket for the main reason of
Because I don't trust those dogs.
Who's
I've
trust?
seen
Adrian's dog?
Adrian's dogs. I've seen what they can do. I've broke up a dog fight. There was a lot of bloodshed then.
And
I'm not.
Yes, there was.
I'm not gonna.
And we're gonna try to keep everything geared to Friday
Yep, right now, we're keeping it to Friday.
because,
Go ahead.
because,
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to go back to last summer because if I would have known, so maybe you can tell me the process. So if her dogs get loose, I know I called you last summer and we tried to call you last summer when Cedric had to beat
Yep.
the dogs,
Right.
the dog off her dog.
Why don't you explain what we did at the time, just briefly, because we're not, we took her, we went to court.
no,
No, okay.
This is last summer.
That's what she's talking about.
Yeah, but we didn't go to court.
We went to court in like 2013,
No.
2014.
Oh, it was that long ago.
It was that long ago, so this
That's-
has been going on for 5 years.
One of the neighbors had been going over to feed the dogs when Miss Whitfield was gone at various times, and apparently they weren't getting fed.
And they got out.
And the dogs were fighting, is
The
that?
dog, the big black and white dog got out, came around the fence. Actually, I have pictures. I sent them to Tracy at the time.
Are these the same dogs that have been there for 5 years?
Same dogs.
The one dog
Got out.
probably died.
The
One supposedly
The
does.
black one.
I know that's what she
The
said.
black one is up in her yard, chained
Okay.
to the tree.
Okay, we can't do this, we
Yeah.
can't do this, okay.
So, the big dog got out. We were on the front porch. The big dog got out, came around, and she has like some pit bulls. I think they're pit bulls now. She has in the
How many-
second fence.
How many dogs are there?
Oh my gosh, there's tons of dogs there. There's got to be at least 10.
She sells puppies.
10 dogs or more there that I've seen, but I haven't seen. That's just in her pen that you can see, the second
Yeah.
fence
Yeah.
that you can see. So she had pit bulls in there, and then the big dog crawled under the fence. Cedric came down with a big 2x4. The dog had the pit bull by the neck and was like, "Arr," like doing it, and Cedric was slamming that dog with that 2x4.
Who's Cedric?
I know he's my Aunt Missy's mother's boyfriend.
The guy that mows her
Okay.
lawn.
Okay.
He mows
Yes,
her lawn.
I don't know what her name is.
All
I
right,
can
Cedric.
probably find out.
Cedric.
Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, so that, you're talking about last summer, you're talking about the other day.
Tracy took care of that.
Yeah.
Whatever was
Okay.
was done. But,
Now, as of this conversation, we don't have a lot, but why don't you do the rest of it while we're talking about it? Do you want to do that? Or are you going to
No.
bring it up later?
What?
The other complaint about this,
We have to, yeah, I'm just gonna, I have a complaint, a written complaint. Tina, I have a written complaint from Frank Clark, who had 3 issues with those dogs on the same day
same day, huh?
that Tina did.
After I chased them out of my property.
It was close. It was,
All right,
it was
let's
close.
not editorialize anymore about,
Yeah.
let's just let him give the
And
facts.
so,
Otherwise, we'll get in trouble here.
Okay.
after I talked with Tina, and I talked with Frank several times,
Came in here.
plus he came in here, I went up and visited with Adrienne, and she doesn't believe any of it happened, that, her dogs wouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. She wasn't there when it happened. She had guests, and the dogs got loose because they weren't watching them, and they got out. And this is the only time anything has happened in the last 3+ years. So,
We're on camera, by the way.
we have not had any written reports.
So,
So is that the policy, just to be clear, because I can probably write a written report almost every single other day that her
you see
dogs are
dogs
out.
Well,
The
So
state
I can
requires,
do that.
the state of Vermont requires under statute that if the select board is going to take action on a complaint involving a dog, it has to be in writing.
So every time that the dogs get loose and they're in our yard,
Make a note of
then
it.
that's what I should do is
You
keep
can
it
write a
right
note of it,
diary.
and, you know,
I mean, because we were calling you almost every single
I
day
know
for a
you did.
while, and that kind of gets old.
you know,
Yeah,
and
it
just drop one off every couple of weeks or
Well,
whatever, or whenever you want.
But Chris, we
Yeah.
have a written complaint from Frank Clark, correct or no?
We do,
Can we hear that?
if you want to.
Well, I
If you
mean,
want me to read it.
well, I want to know how bad if there was an attack. I want to know, this right now isn't much. Is
No,
there more?
Well,
Worse?
he wasn't jumped on, he wasn't bitten, his dog wasn't jumped on, and his dog wasn't bitten. He was pinned against his vehicle once.
Frank was.
Yeah. He came home and had the dog in the vehicle with him, and he couldn't get out of the vehicle because the dog was, you know, jumping on the car. He couldn't get out.
But he was very angry Friday. Did something happen Friday?
This happened Friday.
This was when he was pinned in his car. All of this was the same day.
All of this the same day within an hour or so.
Okay. And he's given you a written report.
And he has given me a written report to that. And he said he had a short video of some of it. So I have not seen that.
So there was no attack of any dogs,
No.
but there is a violation of
At the time,
court order.
there was a violation. The dogs weren't even licensed.
3 of them were licensed today.
However, 3 dogs were licensed by her today. I don't know which one.
But that doesn't even matter.
We have
Because they
a
weren't-
court order from 2016 against her, where any of her dogs that are outside of that stockade fence, even on her property, have to be on a leash. So none of them are, you know, allowed to run loose. They have to be under control all the time. So we have violations of the court order.
Yeah.
What the board decides to do,
Tonight, later we'll discuss.
pardon?
Later we'll discuss.
We will discuss later because our town attorney wants to know what the board wants to do.
So my question is, from here on forward, if the dogs are outside of the fence, then we will write statements and bring them here.
I'd just keep a diary. I'd say on this day that dog was out. I mean, so we're hopefully going to do something soon.
Okay.
So-
And am I allowed to just to say what my concern is right now, or no? Okay. So my main concern right now is that this has been going on for 5 years. These dogs are violent. They're not your normal pet dogs. I mean, you have dogs that bark when somebody comes to your house to say, get away, but you don't have dogs that go on other people's property and continuously harass and terrify the people who live here. So my mom won't even go outside. She would be here tonight, but she was sick, so I'm here in her place. But my mom won't even go outside. She doesn't even go to her gardens anymore, not unless my dad or somebody's out there. So my thing is that since these dogs have attacked, and we have proof that they have attacked our dog. So, and it does say in Vermont state statutes, if a hybrid dog has attacked a dog and you fear, you can shoot the dog, correct?
If the dog is on your property, it's not on a leash, being controlled by the owner, it attacks you or your dog, statute indicates the dog can be shot. Pure and simple. That's what it said.
That's what it is.
And I would say you could certainly shoot it too.
All in BSA.
Yeah, I have it,
You got
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have
because if something happens.
I'm just saying too, we have a
just
2-year-old and a
little baby,
6-month-old that
yeah,
run
I'm
around
not,
playing.
Okay.
not taking chances.
Do you want to say something?
So now, in order to feel safe around our property, we have to carry a gun.
I was kind of half joking.
Oh, no, but I'm
I
just
mean,
saying
I
that.
probably would if it attacked me and
I know, but
that,
in order to feel safe, like,
Right.
no one
You're
feels
right.
safe.
That's right. You don't need to have to.
And so Malik actually got chased off the school bus when he was younger.
Oh, I
so
know.
that's why
He was
he's
in our
here.
last complaint. Yeah, I know.
So,
I remember
so that's
that.
why he's here too. So it's not, this has been
He's been
going on,
chased.
ongoing.
And
Unless he
honestly,
jumped on top of
our
me.
2-year-olds are not going to run like you did.
Yeah,
No.
that's right.
I couldn't run.
Now there is, now for Tina, there is, you can file a vicious dog complaint.
I really honest and truly think that that dog did not come after me or my dog because it
Okay.
remembered what I did to it last time.
Okay. And a vicious dog complaint
Could be.
has a certain criteria that has to be met, and if it, from what we're getting right now,
It doesn't
It doesn't meet
tonight.
it.
It doesn't tonight.
So
you-
what about when they attacked Deb Turcotte's daughter? Didn't they bite her
Was that the 5 years ago?
like 3 years
I don't
ago?
know.
Well, we didn't get a complaint
Well,
from
people
Turcot.
gotta write it down.
They gotta give us the complaint. If that had
People
happened,
have to
the
write it
dogs
down,
wouldn't
they
be there
have to come
anymore.
in here, and a lot of them don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, if we'd had that 3 years ago, after that court thing, the dogs would not be there. I pretty much promise if they bit a kid.
Now, the land that I live on is not my land. It belongs to Mark St. Pierre.
Yeah,
Well,
doesn't matter.
Should.
that,
You live there.
that doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Right.
I didn't know if maybe he could,
You are the
You're-
historical
you're-
caretaker
You're in the house on the corner?
next to the
next to the
corner.
corner.
Next to-
I'm in the little brown with the green trim.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
So I presume later tonight, we're gonna be discussing this
We will.
dog issue, and
Yeah.
again, we'll get back to you tomorrow. I mean, we've gotta talk about it. We don't make decisions just based on quick.
You can't.
Right.
Not, I mean, you know, looking at the baby, yeah, I wanna say, we're done, but you can't do that. We have to,
We have.
we
We
have to follow the law.
we have to follow, you know, step 1, 2, 3,
But we've
4,
already
or we're not-
contacted
Yeah.
Joe
We're not
Kay.
gonna get anywhere.
I already talked to the lawyer today, so he wants to know what we decide tonight,
Yes.
and we'll proceed from there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for them before they go? No? Okay.
Thank you for
Have a
coming.
good
Yeah.
night.
And keep it written down.
Okay.
Yes.
Or email us. I need a motion to act on the minutes of the April 2nd meeting, and Till and Sherry weren't here, so I need it from one of
I
you.
wasn't here.
Wasn't
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the April 2nd meeting.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Wayne and then Chris. We talked to the firemen already. We'll talk about the trash bill later. Okay, I have a request from Albert Carey for us to think about something. Okay, he just wants us to know if we consider it. And that is, you know where the elementary school is, where the elderly housing is?
Yep.
Okay. That's there. Richford Renaissance owns behind it, like, it would be right next to Thompson's probably, and then they own across the street the land by the river that would go down to the river. And the town owns
A slice.
a slice. Oh, I'm looking the wrong way, that's why. Okay. The town owns this little slice. The school is here, they own this, and then they own across the road. That's Interval Avenue. We own a little slice there. They want to put a garage over here for the elderly housing. They would like us to give them a right of way to do that, or to sell it to them, or to give it to them. I told them we don't give things
You don't
away.
give things.
Yeah, we don't give things away. But
Where's this elderly housing?
it's the old elementary school.
The old elementary school.
Okay.
You know,
Yes.
and then right behind it, then you would go to Thompson's house. Okay, you're going up Interval from down.
All right.
Okay. He said, this way, you know, they could go across, obviously. I asked Johnny, do we do anything there? He said no. Albert said maybe they could trade us like right away over here, and I said to Johnny, we need a place to put snow
Put snow.
maybe, or something. He said I could put snow from that street there.
It's
So-
on the lower side.
On the lower,
On the
by the
lower
river,
side,
by the
yeah.
river, yeah.
Swap
He said
parcels.
maybe we could just swap either right-of-ways or piece of
Yeah.
land that's equal size, so that people could walk over to their cars without going out in the road. So he just would like to know, he doesn't want any answer, he just wonders if we think about it. I don't really think about
I've thought
anything.
about it before, because I've been.
He's talked to you about it, he said.
I've been mixed up in this a little bit before.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea to personally, because it's extra.
I don't see
now.
it,
It's not costing us anything, we're not losing anything.
you know,
we're gaining
Albert and I
rest
don't
for-
always agree.
I know, but you agree on this?
But I can see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's
And-
right with it, more taxes they'll have to pay.
Yeah, then pay us a little bit more taxes.
I make a motion.
Well, that slice is just not, it's not
It's
worth
nothing.
anything, right? It's just a nothing.
Yeah.
It's just
I
nothing
checked
to
with
us.
Johnny about it to see if it's, because sometimes we jump on things and then he says, wait a minute, I use that for such and such, but he says no, he doesn't see anything wrong with doing it either.
Nobody uses that for
No.
anything.
For anything.
So if they used it, I mean, you know, and they build a garage, they'll pay taxes on the garage. He
Sure.
said, that was his point. He said, you know,
And
Yeah.
so you will consider it. He isn't
Sure.
ready yet, but
not only that, that's all elderly housing.
I know.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
Are they gonna have to go across the road?
No, that's the point. They'll go right through.
Oh, okay. Huh?
You gotta do something for these old people.
Yeah, these old people like us. No, that way they wouldn't have to go out the road.
Oh,
and down.
okay,
They
all
could
right,
go
I
right,
got you now.
right across.
Right,
They could
right
keep their
across.
shovel.
Right
Yeah.
across,
So
yeah.
you're all happy,
Sure.
nothing
Oh, that-
against it. Okay.
Nothing else.
I'll call Albert and just
I think
say
it's fine.
we'll.
Well, I don't know, do you wanna give them a right of way or sell it, or
Well,
what do we do?
when the time comes, we can
Sell it to
decide.
them for token payment.
I said it'd be a token payment or trade the use of the snow. I don't know. Whatever you guys
Whatever.
decide at the time.
Okay,
I'd sell it to them for
A token payment?
token
Okay,
payment.
that's fine. He'd be happy with that. But we're not gonna make a decision now
No.
because they haven't gotten their plans
got the
together.
plans
Yeah, he just
together.
wanted to say, because he said, if you're gonna say no, I'm not gonna go ahead and.
No.
no,
No, definitely.
Okay,
It's a
so
good
that's
idea.
good, all right. Okay. I had Board of Abatement meeting. There was a request from Michael Rannick to abate his taxes. But then he came in today and canceled it, so it is no
that's
longer.
out,
Oh,
That's
okay.
out.
All right.
I got that notice, all right.
The VLCT came to visit because of, our change in, and there were some things that we need to do. I gave Johnny a few things that he's gonna take care of. It was very minimal up at the town barn. There's a couple of things at the library, like checking the fire extinguishers, a couple things here. Did I give you a copy? No, probably not. I need to keep it, but you can take a look at it.
Okay.
Small stuff. So we'll get those things done, but then the other guy came, and we need to talk about this at some point when we get his final report. He wants the electric boxes in the post office changed, and I don't know if what's going on there, but
They are outdated.
I know. So we may have to face that.
And it doesn't surprise me,
Okay.
because it's outdated. I don't think there's a GPS in there anywhere.
That's not on there, by the way. That's a different report.
Or anything,
Yeah.
or GIF, rather. I don't think there's one in there at all for any of the
Really?
circuits.
Well, then, I don't know what the cost would be, but when we get his final report, then we'll start
It's
worrying
gonna be
about it.
expensive.
Yeah, it's gonna be considerable.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, he'd
okay.
like to do it at the Historical Society too. However, we're open only in the summer, only in the morning, and we don't use the lights that much, so maybe we can talk him out of that one, I don't know, but,
And we should probably
yeah.
get some bids on it. from
Okay.
Different,
Well, that'll be Sherry.
you know.
When we get his final report, let's wait. Let's not volunteer.
No, yeah.
But this guy, the first guy, Jeff, was saying how he thought everything, he said he was very, did a walk through the town hall and offices. A few recommendations are attached. They surveyed the highway garage, post office, the water and water facilities. No recommendations there, they were fine, and the library. He said the town facilities look great overall, noticed several good things like fire and security alarms at the garage and the fact that John has installed battery kill switches in the equipment. His HAZCOM standard program is good and up to date as well. And they just completed a drug class with us and a flagger class, so all the guys got flagger, the firemen in the town got certificates.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris.
The LCT was here last week.
Yeah.
They had a training.
That was another one. That wasn't flagger. They'd already done the flagger.
It was something else when Sue Parsons was
Yeah,
here in
yeah.
that group.
Yeah.
Anyway, the lady from the LCT that gave the class mentioned that she may be sending you an email pertaining to safety shoes
Oh,
for highway,
oh, like steel toe?
highway, steel toe
I
type
know.
Yeah.
things. Whether, it would be up to the board.
Okay, haven't gotten it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
If they pursue that, those guys are gonna have to wear their hard hats more than they do.
Well, that'd be a good idea.
Yes. And the steel toes, there's pros and cons to that.
I don't know.
Well, I do.
Just told.
OSHA recommended that linemen wear steel toes.
Okay.
It wasn't a good idea.
Maybe.
A guy got his toe crossed up in secondary, not even primary, in secondary. And he lost his toes on account of the steel toe.
It's nice.
But do you think that OSHA or VOSHA would back off on that?
But no,
No. And I don't know, right now, I don't know whether they have to wear steel toes or not. This was quite a while ago. And, but there's pros and cons to it.
yeah, and it's not, it was after the meeting, and she just mentioned that they went over it, and I
Yeah.
said, well, that's something that, they would have to come back and present us with.
There's one thing you're gonna watch in VLTC. They like to dictate. They think they're God.
Well, we distinguish what we have to do and what we don't have to do, and we make up our own minds. Okay, this is a request, apparently that water infrastructure grant we're getting to do the survey. Apparently I'm the person they contact, but they need a alternative authorized representative, so of course I made it Alan, because he's here every day, so I need a motion for this, to appoint Alan as the alternative water infrastructure financing authorized representative.
I'll make a motion. to
Okay.
make out.
Don't we have a meeting on that coming up?
Yeah, but we have to do this ourselves.
Huh?
We have to do this. This has nothing to do with the meeting. This is just authorizing Alan to be an
Oh, okay,
agent.
okay.
Just a backup
Sherry,
alternative.
Sherry,
Yeah, okay,
and who seconds it?
because we got a meeting.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a meeting coming up on.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
appoint Alan so that he,
yeah.
Somebody's always here.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we all have to sign this. I'll pass it around. Wayne, you got your folder of stuff to sign, right? You got your folder of stuff?
It's all done.
Oh, good enough.
24th.
Okay. I'm gonna, Johnny has.
Ben?
Yeah, I don't know my life.
Johnny's got driveway permit application for Kyle Mercy, 1546 Richford Road, putting in a new house. He's approved it, so I have a,
I make a motion to approve the driveway permit.
yeah, and
I'll second it.
Right. Sure,
Yeah.
second. Driveway, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. There's that. Okay, that I don't want to talk about. I'll talk about this with buildings. Got this from John, giving Homer and Ruth Durkee notified they're in violation of Richford zoning laws at Center Street 126 Center. The roof over the bay window is not intact and the deck framing has collapsed. That must be the old Wareham house.
Yeah.
So he sent them a letter. Okay, I'll let somebody else talk for a while. I'm sure I'll have more parks. And, well, buildings. That's good buildings. That's the one you need.
All right.
Thank you.
I did a tour around the post office and also the town hall here. There is some problems with the floor at the post office that really need to be addressed. It's the old asbestos tiles, and I actually have some pictures. These are the pictures of the asbestos tiles.
Yep.
And they're actually all broken
yeah.
apart. They did
Yeah,
put
yeah,
some
yeah.
sealant on them. I did
But
go in
after
today.
you went, after you went, she sealed them.
Yeah, she did, and I saw them today.
And there's a question of whether those are asbestos or not.
Or is there? Okay.
Some people say that's not asbestos.
Okay.
Do you know for sure?
I don't know for sure.
How do we find out?
Take one up.
Have it tested somewhere.
Oh, you can test it once you get it up. You can look at it and tell.
Oh,
Okay, well, a lot of this is broken apart, even
you
with a
can
new
see.
seal, it's all broken.
Yeah, you pop one out
So this
and
is,
you look at the back side of it
oh, okay.
and you crack it. If there's strings in it,
it's asbestos, it's got fibers in it, it's
Yeah,
asbestos.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's a corner somewhere we can.
Yep, I'll go over to
Really?
I'll have to work.
But she did
Look.
seal it after you took the pictures.
Yeah, I
So
went
it's
over
okay
to-
now.
I went over today and.
Look good, it looked better.
It looks better, but where this is all
That's
broken
the part,
apart,
that's the
this
part.
is the parts, there's still an issue. Even with the sealant on it, they're still all loose. This here is also pictures of the front door. If you can see the air
Oh, yeah.
between the, see, they need a new seal on the doors. And this here is pictures of the fire department, these three. This is their front door. See the nice air lock? And this is the rusted out
Is
base
that
on
the door
it.
there was nothing wrong with?
Yeah. This is the base, and when
And
you
can
pull
see
on the,
outdoor.
and when you turn the handle to go into the fire department, if you're on the inside and you're trying to go out and you turn the handle, sometimes it comes off in your hand.
Yes, it does. I've had that happen.
And this is the sealant at the fire department that is leaking.
Andy, tonight when we were talking, Andy said that he would go up with the ladder truck and just take a look, see what's going on up there. And maybe when we have this roof done, they could fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know, it may not be the roof, maybe a pipe or something.
Yeah, true.
That's not good. Oh, it's all
So, I mean, they all had lists, everybody has a list, but what I did is I took pictures of things I thought were the most important.
That
Yeah.
roof is bothered since day one. And,
Oh, no. That's,
yeah,
that stuff needs to be fixed.
We need to keep our buildings up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, while talking about that, this building, the brickwork in the front,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get another quote. I never can remember his name. Bro.
Joe Bro.
Joe Bro.
Oh, Joe, yeah.
I am gonna see if Joe Bro will come down and do a quote for us too. But I do have one from Ryan Sons, and they broke it out into different sections of like this corner and this corner. One very serious spot would be out back here that no one sees.
That
When I
is-
walk the building,
that's
you can
back.
actually see
Yep.
air holes.
Yeah.
You see daylight from one corner through it.
Really?
Yeah. The brick.
Well, that one
Right
in the
at the
front,
bottom, all the way around the building.
that front's getting bad.
Well, that's why we gotta do
That's
something about it.
bad.
Tomorrow during the day, walk up behind on this back corner and go about this high up on the wall. And
Really?
you can see through
Yeah.
the corner. The bricks are all pulled, the mortar's coming away.
Yeah.
That's just because of the water over the years and
Yeah, which
stuff. Now with the new
fix
roof
some of
going
it.
on, that will fix things, because what happens is the roof leaks, it comes down between the brick and the building, then it washes out the mortar as it gets softer and the
Oh, yeah.
roof's coming
Did
out.
y'all agree to come do a,
I'm gonna
She's
call
gonna
Joe.
call. She's
I
got one from Ryan.
I got one from Ryan right now, and I'm gonna get one from Joe too.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up, because it's not something we can do like tomorrow or anything. It'd have to go to a vote,
Yeah.
probably to
Or
the
if we have
town.
money
and-
left at the end.
Or money.
Put it in our
yeah.
budget.
Put it in the budget for next year kind of thing. But it's something I think we have to have it.
And we're gonna look at a grant. The two of us are gonna look at a historic
Yes.
grant that you talked
Yep, I
about.
did bring the paper in. I gave it to Linda today, so we'll look
We'll
at that
take a look
too.
at that. No, maybe we'll get something we can do the bell tower at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
that,
oh my.
there is some money there for
I know.
historical buildings.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll look at it, if we
Yep.
have a minute.
We'll get through that.
That's gotta be
The
done.
two of us just need to have a time we can
Yeah.
sit down.
It's gotta be done.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gotta be done, certainly. We can't let the building fall down.
No, we need to keep it looking nice.
And
There's
that's
something, oh,
The fire
the shade for
station's
the post
yeah, and
office.
then the other things.
Linda had called and checked on a shade. The post office has a grievance with the big window in the front, because the sun comes right straight through it, and it does. It comes right through and right at their eyes. They're trying to talk to customers and they can't see anything.
And they've talked about it for 5, 6, 7 years.
So they've had a problem with it forever. And Linda happened to notice there was some at the store, so she,
Yeah,
at the health center?
Notch upstairs,
Notch.
the big windows upstairs, they're like the post office.
So she got to call them, and they actually, it's like $500. But then,
Per shade installed.
yeah, but Home Depot has them for $204, and we can put them in ourselves.
Yeah, if we can. Alan thinks there's no problem with that,
Yeah.
so.
Works for me.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm thinking,
So
and it would really make them
yeah.
happy over there, just a little something.
So if you say so, you can order, one of us can order
Yeah.
a shade tomorrow.
Is that fine? Is that a go for you guys?
Yeah.
So we'll order the
Okay.
shade.
Order the shade.
Okay, order the shade. That's a small thing.
That's a small thing, but it's a big step for them.
John, yeah, they'll be quiet.
Yes.
John Mercy gave us a quote on the furnace at the library.
Right.
It's $7,992. Alan says we only have $4,000 this year. I mean, we may have more at the end of the year if we don't spend it all, but I didn't make a copy yet. But if you want to
Okay.
keep it, if you keep it.
Okay, I'll keep it with the stuff.
Yeah. Now, and then I began to think about it, and when he told me I need a new furnace, he said I had to have a chimney liner because it's the law now. So I put the liner in this year.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that building's got a liner.
In that new chimney they put up?
Oh,
Oh, that's a new chimney next door at the library?
Yeah, didn't they put that
Oh.
up just 2-3 years ago?
I don't know.
I think so.
Probably John would have mentioned it to me too,
But
when he
it-
gave the quote.
It probably
Sure.
doesn't have a metal liner, it's probably got the
I think it's
clay
the law
liner.
now that it's metal.
And how
Are you
Stay.
gonna entertain other quotes besides that?
On the,
Yeah.
on the furnace, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you could call Blue Ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you call Blue? And he's the one that does all our furnace work, so we had asked him first. And
I
and I
asked,
had gotten quotes for my house for both of them. His
I
was
talked to
cheaper.
him the other day when he was in here,
Yeah,
and we talked about the furnace there.
yeah.
And,
He thought he'd keep it
I-
going for a little while.
well, I asked him to get a quote on propane.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's,
you know,
he didn't do that, did he?
Put a propane unit
He must have
in
talked
every
to him
room.
after we got
Yeah.
that quote. Okay.
And,
Fuel
I'll
lines.
call him and ask him.
right
for a
now,
propane.
propane's cheaper than oil.
Oh, you mean like one of the wall units?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, if they put one in every room,
Oh, that's a
if
lot.
one,
You wouldn't need one in every room, would you?
I think probably, yeah.
You would.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, and they're here,
That sounds
somewhere around
expensive.
$1,600
Well,
a
ask him for a
unit.
quote.
Yeah, that's normal.
Propane.
That's a normal
Yeah,
price.
And
Well, Sherry can talk to him about it. That's gonna be
Yeah.
hard.
I would check into it before I went.
Yeah, I'll
to
check
think.
into it, yeah.
And she'll call Blue Ones and,
If it doesn't look good once,
For furnace.
well, yeah, we haven't decided yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just had found he had given me about a $2,000 cheaper quote than other places for my furnace.
Oh, yeah,
My house is
yeah.
like that house.
No,
It's not
the
any-
$8,000 is good.
That's a normal
Cool.
price.
Yeah, it's regular.
Yeah, I
That's a
know.
normal price.
I know.
But
I know, money,
we
money,
need
money.
some other,
Yeah, we have four, but as I say, haven't used our budget yet. Sometimes if you have money at the end, because we, you
It's
know,
nice to be able to do something and get things taken
get
care
it
of.
taken care of before the next year if we can.
Yep.
Okay, so is that it for buildings, Sherry? Or do you have more?
Nope, that was it for buildings.
Okay.
Order.
Do you want to discuss the trash now, or you want to hear all the reports first? Hear all the reports
Let's
first.
get all the
Go ahead.
reports and deal with that.
Okay, police?
well, that was basically all animal control related, which we already had, except for this picture of a dog that Linda has right here, is a dog
That we
was
picked up.
picked up. We've discussed this before, but this dog was picked up by animal control. The family was evicted on Troy Street, and they just let the dog run loose.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tracy ended up picking him up, and he's about a 3-year-old lab or so, and he went to Lamoille Kennels, North Country Animal League wouldn't take him. Various reasons, I guess. I don't know the
We've been
whole
hearing some
story.
things we're not happy with North Country.
So, I don't know.
He was today brought back to Franklin.
The North Country Animal League is the kennels she had. He wasn't this thin.
When she brought him.
And he's been there for 2 months
And he's
until
really thin.
today. And Tracy was able to have an associate, we'll call it, get him out of Lamoille Kennels and to Franklin County Animal Rescue, who will spay, neuter, vaccinate, do everything.
For $100.
For $100.
Which I
And
said, yeah.
have him
that's-
adopted out as long as he doesn't have any aggressive type issues. He may have had some aggressive issues when he was first picked up. He had been running loose and scavenging for food, and when
Right.
you went near him
With
when he was
food.
eating, you didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
But he, I don't know.
Well, now he's thin again.
Well, thinner than he was when she brought him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he hasn't been able to be adopted, and Tracy said because they keep telling people he's vicious, but he's not.
he's not,
He's fine with the vets, he's fine with everything, so
he's
she
been good.
she got him out of there.
So
We pay
they
$10
have
a
to
day
do
for that.
some kind of review with him to
Oh, yeah.
see if he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
aggressive, and they'll take him and
They think they can adopt him right off.
Oh,
think
it's
so.
wonderful.
Yeah, so
So
that's taking care of one thing.
They're handling it then.
it's all taken care of now.
I just don't know what's gonna happen the next time we find a dog, because,
I wouldn't bring him there.
no, but we have no place to bring them.
That's our issue.
They don't really take dogs down there, they only take cats,
No.
but Tracy got
Al
them
doesn't
in.
really want to take any dogs at all. We were able to get this one in.
No, I was about to bring this one home today when we were looking at the scared look on his face. and the
Oh, yeah, he
scared-
looks horrified.
Yeah. Yeah,
Poor old
so,
boy.
Yeah, he's had a life. Okay, so is that it?
Yeah, that's all I
Okay.
had. Unless somebody has something.
Playgrounds and cemeteries, got it right.
Cemeteries, Deer Run Property Maintenance has already started their spring cleanup in the cemeteries. And they've also been to the playground working the other day, so
Good.
they had some ball games scheduled, I believe, for the end of last week, but I don't think any of them took place.
My son-in-law's already played 3 games down there this year.
I was on the boy there, and they're running through, splashing water.
I don't know when they'll ever be able, they're gonna be late.
That's tough down there, right now.
But Donald and Judy are working down there, and,
Yeah.
They're already on it?
yeah, they're doing their thing, so.
Cool. Good. That
And I
it?
believe, I talked to Larry Bissett about fixing that vent in the ceiling, and he was supposed to go down and
What's
fix
it
it.
down there?
Yeah, in the building at the playground, all of the rubber or whatever, I
Yeah.
mentioned it before, it
Is
all
it
came
leak?
off, and I believe he's already fixed it and everything, so. I haven't seen a bill, but
No.
I'll call him and double check.
He takes a while.
He takes a while, I know. But anyway, I think he fixed that for us.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, water and sewer?
Well, everything seems to be in pretty good shape. We got our manhole risers that we need for, there's 12 of those manholes that we've got to change and put in sealed covers because they're soaking up too much stormwater. And, but we've got things to do it with.
But that's since the last paving job,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But see, our existing manhole covers, you've got the little hole in each side
Right.
to hook,
Yep.
to lift them. Well, water runs right into them. We catch a lot of water that way. So, by taking those off and putting on the seal covers, we won't get that.
Okay.
So all of that stormwater that has been going into the sewer won't be going in. And we've picked out 12 that are real, they catch a lot of water. And we've got to, if we don't have the covers right here now, we're getting them, but we've got the risers that we've got to put on. You know, you clean out around
Yeah.
and set them on there. And we've got those. And we had the money for it. That was, didn't affect the budget, you know. Water itself, we had to clean out the intake the other day. It got gravel washed in up there pretty good over the winter. More than what we really realized. Our flow was, we've maintained our flow coming in, but it was down pretty well up there. So and that all cleaned out. The other day.
David go up and
David
do
went
it?
up, David went up and cleaned it out.
Right.
And so we've got a good basin of water there now. And it's coming in good and clear. And,
If you've never been up there, that water is so clear.
oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's so clear.
And it's coming into the reservoir up here, just as clear as it's leaving up there, you know, because the pipe's all pretty good.
Pipe.
And we're still working on this business of mapping out the whole system here in Teal.
Yeah.
Well, there was supposed to be grant monies available for that. And that kind of got kicked in the head at one of the meetings we had.
Well, no, we got the grant. You talking about the, aren't you talking about the grant?
Yeah, we have now.
Yeah.
But I say it got kicked in the head at one of the meetings we had, but it got straightened out
Yeah, it got
after.
straightened out once I called her.
So,
Found out
yeah.
everything was okay. That's what we just signed Alan as the associate, yeah.
Yeah, so we got to, what, 50, yeah,
Well, we're gonna get it.
yeah.
We're gonna get our grant
And,
put back, or our loan.
and that will map out the whole existing water system. The curb stops and everything, pipe sizes, so on and so forth. And where the valves are, we've got one leak, we got one leaky valve down on Troy Street, down by Dave's
Auto.
auto there.
Yeah.
That has been a very bad spot for, well, 40 years that I know of.
It's always a problem.
It's always a problem. Well, we thought we had it corrected last year.
We dug it up last year.
Yes. We done away with a couple of bad spots in it. We got another one that's leaking. And, but as soon as it's not leaking a lot, and as soon as the ground softens up, you know, workable, we're gonna dig it up and correct it. We talked about relicensing the sewer the other day. She was up here.
Yeah.
Can't think of her name.
Can't even,
Jessica
yeah.
Olivia or something.
Something like that, I don't remember her name.
Yeah, and she's pretty good to work with.
Good.
And we worked with her a little bit before, and she's reasonable. So next month, I think it is, we'll get her new 5-year license on that.
Well, we have to have a hearing. We have to have, when is that hearing for that? We have to have a hearing. We made a date, didn't we?
I forgot now.
It's on my calendar in the office, but
Yeah.
it's not this month, but.
No.
I said probably no one will show up because it's a hearing on
Yeah.
water. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
And, but she's all set to
Yeah,
renew her
yeah,
license.
they said they had to have a hearing, so
And
we will have one.
that's what it is 5 years.
And I'll warn it. Oh, no, they'll warn it. They said they'd warn it, didn't they?
Huh?
They said they'd warn it for us.
Yeah,
They'd warn
yeah.
it, yeah.
And
So
other than that, we've been changing out
the reeds.
some meters.
62 new ones.
62.
Well, and it's made a
reeds.
huge difference in, Alan's coming to our next meeting to talk about he was gonna come tonight, but he's coming next time to talk about the water and sewer money, because we've been doing quite well.
Yes.
Yes, he wants to talk to us. I don't know what about, but he
Yeah,
wants to talk
I
to
know
us.
what it's
Yeah, I know
about.
you do, but let's not talk about it tonight. He's coming
Yeah.
next time.
And,
Good.
it,
The radio reads apparently bringing in quite a bit of money now that they're,
well,
Well, now that we got everybody fixed so they're getting metered properly.
well, it is
it makes a big difference.
Yeah,
Nice.
I know. But Daryl called me today to give me advance warning. The apartment house that belongs to Mr. Hebron down here, they tried to go in and fix the meter, and he's being uncooperative about telling him where it is or getting a key.
which one?
At Hebron here on the park.
The apartments on Main
apartments,
Street.
yeah.
Okay.
And he said he's not, letting them in. They don't know where the meter is. And I read the email that Mr. Hebron wrote to them, and of course, as usual, it was sarcastic. And I wrote him an email back. And right after that, somebody came in and complained about all the trash behind that building. And then next thing, this is all today, somebody came in and complained because they've asked him several times and there was water leaking from the upstairs apartment. So he'll be getting 3 or 4 letters together.
The water meter's just inside the hallway. over
Well,
there.
tell the boys, because
Yeah.
I asked the tenants, did you let him in? And they said, yeah, we let him in, but they didn't know where it was, so, and he thought he
Yeah,
was,
that's where it
didn't think we
is.
knew anything, because we didn't know where the water meter was, but
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, he called, and then I sent a letter out to him, just to let you know. I tried to be nice.
You tried.
Don't be.
Okay, is that it on the water and sewer?
That's all I got right now.
Okay, highways.
Works for me.
Yes, we got that new tractor out, well, not new to us, with the trimmer, and we're doing a lot of roads and roadsides. We've had a few complaints, because it does leave it kind of messy.
And
Well-
hacks it up.
It'll do it.
But after they've been around the first time, next year it'll be just brush. But it's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
We're really happy with it.
Could I ask you
Nice.
something on that? Could you sometime do the access road up to the dam?
I don't see why they couldn't. Yeah, that would help. Yeah.
Would-
That would help a lot.
Yeah.
I don't mind it coming out of the water budget.
Yeah. Okay. I'll mention that to them.
But it does need doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And there's not an awful long stretch,
Yeah.
just up as far as the power line is about all he's doing.
Okay.
Beyond that is pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's that first
Transport
stretch.
that?
Going to the catch basin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I'll mention that. to
And you
them.
know what, Linda?
What?
They could use that, when you go down to the playground and take the road that goes over the softball field,
Oh, yeah.
that bank on the right, sometimes that's hard for them to do because we didn't have the right
Yeah.
equipment, but with this thing, they could mow that right
I'll
down.
mention it to him.
Okay. Where's that, Chris?
When you go down to the playground,
Yeah.
go through the gate,
Yep.
take the road to the left, that goes over to the softball
Yes.
field, and
Right
start
across
mowing
there.
on the
Yeah.
right side,
Yeah.
behind the
Yeah.
fence.
I'll write that down.
Well, as long as you brought that up, they're soon gonna be, on the other side, expanding the playground out
Yeah.
Yeah,
a few feet. He's already given me the plans and everything. They're gonna put a new
Good.
culvert in. So that'll look nice down there with the new
Okay.
playground and
we're all
the.
working,
Nice.
Yep.
working together.
Yep.
Yeah.
People used that, I wanted to tell you, people used the playground all winter.
Yeah,
I saw,
Believe it or not, they were down there all winter. I was down there many, many times, and there was always people down
I
there,
know.
cold, they were out.
I
letting
turned the
kids play.
camera on the other day to see if it worked. And I'm like, there's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And there's these kids and the mother out there playing
Yeah.
on the thing. I said, wait till they see the stuff we're gonna put in next month.
Yeah,
They'll live down there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. Go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah. Again, we're sweeping. Of course, we've been sweeping village streets and town roads.
But then it snows.
Yeah, put a little bit more sand on this morning, but
Yeah. Oh, well.
hopefully they'll keep up and get.
He said they'd just taken the sander off or something like that off. the
Well,
top,
they
and then
still
put-
had them on.
Yeah.
We didn't plan to use them.
No,
They
I
had
know.
to- Well, they were putting salt on the sidewalks today.
Yeah.
By hand, walking down, throwing it.
She said he was walking down throwing it, Matt was throwing it because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Connie was scraping the post
it was
office.
icy this
It
morning.
was icy.
You bet it was.
Very icy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we won't be getting a new town truck until after the open house, because that's where it's going.
Oh, they want to show it at the open house?
Yeah, they got it all set.
Do you know when that is?
Middle of next month.
Oh,
So,
That's all right.
yeah, that's about all I got.
okay. Next month. Okay,
Are you gonna go to other business?
yep, after I get done my business.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The State of Forests and Parks want us to reappoint the town forest warden and assistant. The warden is Andy Pond and the assistant is Paul Martin. They would like us to reappoint them to 5 years, period of 5 years. We've already approved them at our last meeting. I jumped the gun. So all we have to do is sign this and I have to send it
Okay.
back. So we've already done it. We won't go
That's what I
again.
thought, yeah.
We're happy to have them. and then one for Andy and one for Paul. And just do that. A lot of signing tonight. Okay, that goes there. They had a meeting, the REAC had a meeting about this piece of property across the road. They're trying to make it into a recreation park and area. And while I was at the meeting, they talked about doing a track, because we have a track team, and Rossi was looking into it, and everybody was talking about it, and it's very, very expensive to put a track in. It's beyond our means. So I thought about it, and I said, I wonder what they're gonna surface the new rail trail with, which comes to Weatherby's. And I called the engineer, and he said, we're gonna put asphalt on it.
Yeah.
And he says, that's good running surface. It won't be the rubber, but it'll be a good running, and it'll be flat. And because we have the fastest runner in the United States from our school,
I know.
so we should have it. And she didn't have a track to practice on, so I suggested to them, I don't want to be too involved with it, but I said I would help, and I said if we did that, I would put a couple pieces of equipment down there for sit-ups and push-ups that I have through my grant, and they could do that, and we could have it. I mean, that should be done next summer, not this summer, but it should be all done next summer. So just wanted to let you know that. And I'm going to have a meeting very soon for the emergency operations plan. It's due May 1st. And I'm going to have Andy and all the emergency people come, so we all have the same plan, and we know what we're going to do if we have a big fire, big earthquake, or a big whatever. Because the plan has got the wrong names on it all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay? So, there we go. Other business.
I have just a couple items.
Yep.
I had a very short conversation with the supervisor that's running the crew at East Richford on the
Yeah,
International
I met him
Bridge.
too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And he said
Looking for job.
he could use some workers.
Yeah,
If
to
people
pass.
want to work.
Yeah.
He could, just go over there and talk to them and
Did you know his name? Do you know his name?
I forgot.
Where's his business? Where's his office going to be?
I don't know.
He wanted to do Durkee Store, but he didn't know who owned it because it's right next.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And they're
I don't know
more
if he's
than-
bringing a trailer in or
Well,
what.
more
I
than
don't-
minimum paying jobs. He says it's going to be good pay, but they have to pass drug tests. It's going to be from May to October. So if
Yeah.
anybody's looking for work,
Yeah, because
This is
they're cutting
doing-
brush and working
they're
underneath.
redoing the bridge up at East Richford.
Okay.
He's the contractor that's redoing it. He's got all kinds of jobs. He says he'll train him how
Well,
to do it.
one of the guys that was with him, and one of his workers said, I couldn't believe nobody came around. Said,
Well,
what do you
believe it.
want it?
Believe it.
I said,
That's what gets to me.
But how do they know? How is it out there? How do they know where they can go apply? Is there signs
They've
anywhere?
probably got it posted in paper.
Probably.
they brought
It,
flyers in here,
yeah, there's
Well,
flyers.
hand out.
Usually people come in here and aren't looking for jobs.
Right.
No, they talk about there's no work, but you can't
Well,
find
he said
anybody
it's a
wants to
good- he
live.
says it's a
He's
good
paying
job.
good money.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
Paying
it's,
good
and it's
money.
6 months. I mean,
Yeah, but these are laborers now. This is labor work.
and he'll train. But he said
Yeah,
they
with
just
not
have to
much
pass the.
experience, but.
Right,
yeah.
he said they didn't
No,
need
he
experience.
needs help.
Yeah.
I guess they'll hire anybody who wants to work.
They like to hire
So
local people.
if they can pass a drug test, that's,
Yeah, yeah,
if they can pass a
yeah,
drug
That's,
test.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they can do that.
That's what he told me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
The other thing was do you want to go over the towing?
Yes. Oh, and we have to do the trash too.
When we lost TDI as our tow company this year, which, okay, we had to live with it through the winter because none of the other tow companies wanted to come do it. But, whatever. We've had one local person that has expressed interest in it. I called Joe Cahill down at our attorney's office and asked him, what does the town need to be concerned about when having someone do this? And he said, depending on the size of the vehicle, they need a CDL if it's over 26. Which it isn't, but anyway, his vehicles aren't. And this was Rick Mason who offered to do it.
Yep.
He has to have his liability and workman's comp, you know, and he has to have the town listed on the insurance so that we're not liable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And other than that, he can do it. I mean, the town's not asking him to pay money. We're just asking him to move the vehicles.
They can pay him.
And he can charge, you know, a going rate for them to get them back. One of the issues is where's he going to put them?
He said he had a place
He says he can put them
on our
down
land.
by his house, but I don't know if zoning's going to go for that.
Right.
That's something that will have to be taken care of. Right. But he's willing to do it, and he has 2 vehicles that can carry regular cars and pickups. Now, some big truck he can't do. But regular cars and pickups that we have on our streets, he can handle.
Yeah.
So that's something for next year.
So we should get from him his insurance
Get his insurance.
and his workman's comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his, somebody has to call him
And a place
place to put him.
to put them. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't get called. We don't get any, we're not in it.
Right.
We're not in it, like we were, you know, with TDI, we're not in
Yeah,
it.
well, good. I hope that he can provide the insurance and everything that he requires.
That's what we're waiting for.
He could get the job done.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and no one's gonna go take it from him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He could get
Yeah.
the job
He
done.
could get the job done, yes.
Yes, he could.
And if
I
he
just
told
wanted
his
to bring
neighbor,
that up.
he could just.
No, they
I don't know what I'm gonna, I didn't want to go forward with it until I talked to Joe to see,
Yeah.
we don't
That's what
want the
Joe
town
said.
liable.
Yeah.
No.
So,
Joe said as long as he puts us on his insurance.
yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, and he needs to show us.
When I want to get rid of the concept, I talked to him one day, next day he was
It's gone.
Oh, yeah. You will get the
He will
job
get the
done.
job done, yes.
You will not argue with him too
No.
much either.
No,
No.
no. But he's charming. Very
Yeah,
charming
oh yeah, but
guy.
don't,
He's a charming
He's a very charming guy. He
don't
comes in,
piss him off.
No, he's very charming when he comes in and very complimentary to the.
I have to, yeah, he's,
Get along with it.
You don't get along with
He's
his
fine.
father fairly well.
Fine. Okay, we have 2 issues we have to talk about.
Yep.
We got everything else taken care of?
we do.
No, I'm done.
Trash, let's do it.
Trash.
We're
Trash
going to-
bill of $2,213 and
Yeah, 1
1
cent.
cent.
And remember, I know we've done this before.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
given people and they don't have the stickers. It's not like we're losing except for the money we've already paid. I guess we're doing okay with trash right now, so it's breaking even, according to Alan.
Yeah, we do 25% of
I'll
it.
give it right back to you.
So I think we should ask
He
for,
offered 20.
He offered 25.
How about
I said
33%? It's a
Maybe that'd
third.
be a little
I
higher.
think a little more, yeah, she's saying like 33.
50%, 2 payments.
Okay, 50%.
50%, 2 payments. Over,
500 and 500.
no, 50%.
That's,
Yeah, they owe
1,000.
2,000. That's
They owe
1,000.
2,200.
oh, it's 2,200.
Oh.
Okay, 600.
Make it 6, make it 6 and 6.
How much?
That's,
But they are current on their taxes and their water, which
Yeah.
is good.
Right. And they've never
and they did
used,
come off her.
No, they've never used it, but they still,
that we still pay
She
the
should've
town
come in.
pays. She
She
should
should've
have come
come
on.
and-
She should have. I was leaning more towards a 33%, a third.
Or 6
Money.
and 5 and make it 50%, you know. 1 payment and then another payment within X number of months.
yeah.
I don't know. That just,
So make a decision,
that,
50 or 33?
what do you think, Joe?
Flip a coin.
Huh?
Flip a coin.
Well,
I'll say good 33 because they're gonna start using the service and they're gonna be paying every month for every 3 months from this
well,
point
plus,
on.
let's say plus the 79 they owe.
Plus the 79 to make it current for
Yeah.
the bill that's
Oh,
due
that's
for
right.
this
Bill has
coming.
gotta
yeah,
be
yeah.
79.
So, I mean, it's not quite,
2,213,
But
so half would be
33%.
6, the third would be.
Well, what would that be? 2 payments.
If we went a third,
33, yeah.
Well.
See how good you are on your math skills.
I can, it's 333 twice, it's $666. And
Yeah, plus the 79.
right, and plus the 79, yes, so there.
For what?
For what they pay us, either 600, whatever I just said, 600, that would be 33%, or do you want to do 50%?
Okay, well,
40?
I mean, I'm
Wanna make it
not
40?
part of this special district.
I know, but you get
know.
below.
I'm not either, so.
So,
I'm just-
I mean, hell, in what kind of shape is a special district in?
Good. Alan says we're good. We've collected a couple of big bills
Well,
from these tax sales.
Then we shouldn't have to make the recommendations because we don't really, but I mean,
Well, you should, you can do it. I mean,
Overall,
but we have gotten 2 big ones from bank sales.
well, I guess I would favor that, the 33%.
overall,
Yeah.
it's not in good shape. It hasn't been for years.
But Alan
I
says
know
it's
that.
fine now.
So we're getting caught up.
Well, if you go by one set of rules.
Well, yeah, but if somebody, like Sandy came in and she sold a house, and she handed over $2,000
Oh, yeah.
trash that they didn't use, they hadn't used it.
Yeah, we are.
She didn't argue.
We aren't hurting currently.
No.
We're in pretty good shape. But if we try to make up for the past,
Oh,
we
yeah,
never
well,
catch up.
we aren't gonna do that, but,
Never catch up.
the fact that they've got their other 2 bills current is very good, because the
Right.
water and sewer and the,
Yep,
Yeah,
and, we like to,
and they did come in to offer.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I always give people credit for.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And
Whatever you guys
Alan may
think.
not think it's enough, but it's our decision, so
Right.
it's up to you to make a motion on what you want it to be.
I'd make a motion for 33%. With the plus the 79 that they owe.
So 70, add the 79, whatever,
Onto
onto the 22.
Yeah, on
No,
yeah.
pay the 79 right now, so they
Pay
get
the
their
79 right now plus the 33%.
It's due, it's
Oh,
coming.
all right.
For the, towards the past.
Yeah.
In 2 payments?
We could do 2 payments.
Sure.
Yeah, if they can afford to do in one, do in one, but
Whatever
if
they
they
want,
can't, do
let
it in
them
2.
decide.
So,
But we'll set a date, like a
Within the
Time.
next 3
What?
months.
what was 33%?
$666.
Okay.
And,
I can second it.
well, wait a minute, it should be more than
No,
that.
it's gotta be more than that.
Get your calculator out.
No,
Linda.
$1,000 is the 33, and 330 times 2 is 660.
Yeah.
It just seems like it should be more than that out of.
But what's a third of 200? If it's 2,200.
Oh, I didn't go there.
33%
Yeah, so that's
of-
gonna be $66 more.
Exactly.
$66.
Yeah.
So it's
We'll
actually.
let Alan figure
So
this,
All
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
all right.
So, and then plus the 79.
Plus the
Yeah.
79 for this
Okay,
current.
plus the 79, right?
Yeah.
33% of 2,200 is not 600.
No, I was going, okay, guys, okay, guys, I was doing
Yeah.
2,000.
I don't have it no more. It doesn't work.
I
I don't know.
was doing 2,000, give me
Alan
credit
will
for
figure it
that.
out.
Get 33% of the 22,
200.
and then plus the.
Well, if you wanna get nitpicky, it's also $13, what's that?
Well,
Wait,
whatever.
That would be $8 more, okay, plus the 79, okay.
Yeah.
That should make them
That should be your.
And I will call him tomorrow, and I'll have to face Alan with that, because
Okay.
I'm sure he'll be happy with it.
Oh, well, whatever.
Okay, all right, so that's taken care of. Oh, we didn't make a motion.
I'll make a
Motion.
motion.
Sherry made the motion, Chris second.
Yeah.
Chris two, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. And then we need to decide on the dog, and I'm gonna leave that, you can hold that meeting here. The dog,
No.
you wanna do?
The board needs to make a decision on how we want to proceed with the complaints that have been filed. I'm going to leave the complaints, if anybody wants to read them, in the office with Linda. In addition to that, there is another anonymous letter
Oh,
that came in.
do you know who it is and they don't want their name, or do you not know?
That's true.
Okay, so you know who it is.
And I'm going to mention why, because that person has been threatened.
Okay. Okay, this is a person who's against the dogs or for the dogs?
Again,
Okay,
she has been threatened by the owner.
really? Well,
So she's a little afraid.
yeah,
So,
That puts
we
a
have
spin on it.
the
Yeah, it does.
judgment order from the court,
Yeah, remind us of what that judgment was.
issued, February 16th, 2016.
We spent a lot of time on this.
By
A lot.
Superior Court of Franklin County. She had to build a fence, which she did. She's supposed to provide a list of all dogs located on her property together with their ages. That never happened that I know of.
No, and they say she's got 10 and then she registered 3.
All dogs on her property over 6 months old have to be properly vaccinated and licensed by the town of Richford.
And apparently they're not.
We've had 3 animals licensed today. People say there's more than that, so I don't know. I haven't seen them. The neighbors have. I have not.
To enforce that order, can we have a cop go in the house and see how many dogs there are, or not? We better ask Joe.
That'd be up to the sheriff.
The trouble is with these orders that we got, there seems to be no enforcement.
Well, we have to enforce it. We'd have to do
I
it.
know,
Yeah.
and we haven't.
But we haven't had any complaints till now. We thought she was complying.
She isn't.
Let me just go
Okay,
over the
I'm
rest.
sorry, go ahead.
'Cause it's gonna take another meeting to discuss this
Yeah.
and whatever. Any of the dogs that are outside the stockade fence that was built, even though on the property, have to be on leashes, unless she's present and the dogs are firmly under control. There's supposed to be a beware of dog sign every 8 feet along the, there's some type of wire fence that she built, and that didn't happen.
That's 3 things.
Yeah.
So basically we have, and I don't know, there's one dog's name here that, if it's off the property, it has to be on a leash and muzzled.
Muzzled. That's the one that bit.
And I guess that's the one that.
That's the one that keeps
that
getting
the
off
big
right now
goofy?
and going places.
Yeah, she has a few of those.
Yeah.
I don't know how many. It's a black and white.
Yeah.
There's a black one there. It was in the front yard Friday when I went up. He's very gentle. He didn't bother me or anything, but when the other one gets loose, it
Yeah, when they get
seems to
together.
be. Ms. Crisfield stated to me Friday and again yesterday that this is the first incident since this court order was issued.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first reported incident.
Right.
Yeah.
And I only count the reported ones as those that are in writing.
Writing. We've had them verbally.
Yeah, so, anyway, the board must decide what they want Mr. Cahill to do. If we want him to proceed on a violation of the court order or not. He needs to know.
I do.
I do, because she's got 3 violations against it.
Maybe. We haven't proven it yet, but we think that there's 3 violations.
And we have witnesses.
And plus,
Yes.
yeah,
And we know that she came in today and they were not registered at the time. And our laws say that we can take a dog that's not registered.
right, and it was, what, 2 years ago? Or a year
Right.
ago? And
Right.
she's just
Oh, and
now
that was
registered.
3 years after the original
this is
complaint. We've been
Yeah.
working on this for 5 years.
So I'm saying it needs to be
Yeah.
followed through with.
Me
I
too.
don't-
What do you think?
Whatever you want.
Whatever Joe says we can do. I
Yeah,
mean, it's up to him.
yeah. If we want to go forward, we will. We'll let Mr. Cahill know.
And he can
He
tell
will
us.
do what he can do with what he's got.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would
With
say go
her
forward.
attorney. So that,
Yeah.
and that's, if you want to do that, that's fine. We'll notify
I
him.
do. I don't think
Do
there's
it.
any other way she's gonna get it.
Nope.
And if, I mean, I don't wanna look at baby pictures. That
I
didn't
don't
sway
either.
me.
Not at all.
But I don't want somebody to get hurt.
No.
Because this has been over and over. And if Frank Clark was pinned in his car the other day, that to me is a pretty valid person.
Yeah.
On top of vehicles cost up to, you know, $40,000-$50,000. A
Stretch
dog
on,
that
yeah.
doesn't belong to you is jumping on your
Yeah.
vehicle in your own property.
You can get out of the
I mean,
problem.
Frank's property is not next door, it's up the road.
Exactly, I
So
think
it's-
that's an issue,
yeah.
that's a real issue.
And Jeannie has told me they've been up there quite a bit since this order, so, but that's hearsay, because it's not written.
I'll notify Mr. Cahill.
Okay, you gonna do it or you want me to?
Well, I need to get with you after the meeting
Okay.
to give you this.
Well, I'm giving you a ride home too.
Yeah, okay.
We
Well,
can,
thank you very much.
so that's what we're gonna do, we're gonna pursue it.
But that, okay. And then we'll go
Pursue the
from there.
Violation of the court order.
Yes.
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything else they want?
I got one little
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
Do any of you people on the board feel that we should pursue this LED streetlight program?
I just sent that to you to get your blood boiling. I knew it made you feel better. I gave it to Carol when you were sick. I said, give him this. I'll get
Well-
him moving. I said, that would get you moving.
Yeah.
Get your blood pumping.
That's what I said.
Well,
I was kind of kidding. I don't
we
care.
we can have a meeting on it with Paul Markowitz.
And
He
you're
is
gonna be there?
Community Energy Program Manager, Efficiency Vermont.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you drive around some of the other, and he goes on to explain here what a great deal it is. Well, the last I knew, it's gonna cost us $21,000 to get them changed out. And it's sometime around a 3-year payback if rates don't change.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's still the fact that you only get that spot of light right at the base of the pole.
Yeah.
Right, there's a limit,
It
yeah.
lights the sidewalk a
Not
little
a-
bit and a little
Not
bit.
a
Just
spot poison.
over the years, I've been involved in this too long. Over the years, the reason we've got the street lights as we have them is people wanted lighted up
That's the point.
for safety,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
for people coming onto their property.
It's not for
You know,
ambiance, it's
So they
for
want
safety.
the yard lighted up as well as the sidewalk,
Right.
which these do pretty well. Personally, I'd live in the dark, I don't care, but it's we got a lot of streetlights. It's a big expense, but I am sure if we start changing them out, we're going to, well, like I say, take us 3 years, get our money back. But we're going to get so many complaints from people that it's not going to work, I don't think.
No. I just passed it on to you
I
because
know
you're
you
the
did.
light
I know
guy.
you did.
Well, I mean, till Worktown, we had,
Right.
how many lights did we have on Green Avenue done? 2 test lights?
Well,
Two or three?
we had one mid-span up there. There's 3 poles, 1, 2, 3. In the middle pole, we
We
had
had it on just the little one.
a regular sodium vapor
Yeah.
in the middle. So I had them take that out and put an LED on each of the 3 poles.
Mhm.
It's darker up there now than it was with the.
Oh, you did
with
do
the
LED,
single-
you did do LED
Oh, we did, it was a
green?
test thing we did last year.
Oh, and because I
Oh, no,
don't notice it.
no, we went up there. No, Bill
looked at it tonight when I
Bill
came
mentioned to everybody to go up there and take a look, and I
Yeah.
did, and Tim
Yeah.
Green went up and went, and it wasn't,
Well,
Yeah.
then I guess enough said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It,
I trust your judgment. I
Okay.
just wanted to get you feeling better, and I knew if I gave you something to get mad about, that you would feel better. Look at you, you're hopping around here.
okay.
All right.
But
All right.
I don't want to make a decision on it myself.
No, I don't.
oh, I don't have a problem
And,
keeping what we got.
Yep.
But
That's good.
I see it that way.
I do have a question about a light, though. You know, when Darlene came in here and talking about getting a light, you know that light pole that's behind, right across, the one that, I don't know, do they use it? The one that's right across the street in the REAC area.
Oh,
The
that-
old fashioned,
That's their own pole. That's nothing to compare.
that belongs to REAC.
No,
They could hook that up if they wanted to.
no.
Okay.
No, nobody will hook up to it.
Why?
They would have to run a circuit up to it from
wherever, and 'cause the pole's ready to break off. It's an
Oh,
old
so that's
cedar.
no good.
It's an old cedar
Okay,
anyway.
all right, okay,
And,
'Cause they
but
still-
I talked to Evan,
yeah,
and I told him that they might get in touch with him about it.
yeah,
And I said, as far as we're concerned, they could take a service off the bank that feeds the pump down there.
oh, okay,
It would be okay with us for them to do it,
it would, okay,
because we would have to give them permission to do it.
okay.
And
What'd he say?
they never got in touch with him as far
They
as I
haven't
know.
yet, that's why I'm asking, because
And,
Darlene was talking about it again the other
Yeah,
day.
well, tell them to get hold of
Touch with Evan, and we don't
And,
care if they service off the
No,
pump?
no.
Okay,
And,
because it provides light
there's,
for the street
Well,
too.
there's plenty of capacity there anyway,
Okay.
and street light don't use anything anyway.
Okay,
And,
and I'll
so,
I'll tell Darlene tomorrow to give a call, Evan a call. Okay,
what street light they got down there. But Reactive's gotta pay for the light to tell him.
Exactly, yeah.
right, yeah, I know, okay, that's
Yeah.
why I was
They
kind of
gotta, they gotta
asking.
take care of
Asked
the whole
today.
cost.
Okay,
And,
well, and you know, that's why I say if we have a track down there, maybe the school will help pay for it if it's a light.
Okay, if we're gonna do that,
Yeah,
then maybe we could work,
okay.
you know,
Well, that was just my idea, and when Doug, is it Doug, yeah, he said that they were gonna pave it with asphalt, I thought, well, it's flat, it's probably, what, a mile long? Be a perfect running
it's
track.
7/10 of a mile
You can run it twice.
from the pump station to Troy Street.
Okay, so that would be a good thing for the runners, and then,
And,
Yeah.
and everything from Troy Street to the pump station down here is supposed to be blacktop.
so, yeah, I didn't know that until I
Yeah.
called him, I thought it was gonna be dirt like the rest of it, he said, no, it's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah, I
asphalt.
fought with them down there for a
I
week.
know, you did, but that was good, because we can use it for a track too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call it the El Poirier running
I went
space.
I went down and laid it all out for them, and then
Then they hired an engineer.
they changed a couple lines on the print and charged us $8,400.
That's nice.
Of course. Any other business?
Nope.
Okay, meeting adjourned.